Hey guys, today we are doing a mix breakdown of the song You Know My Frame by Cody James MSC. There's also a live mixing session where you can see the start to finish on this channel. But this is just a breakdown where we're going to go channel by channel, and I'll, do before and afters of the processing on each channel, and you can hear how this mix is constructed. So let's jump right in. Okay, so to start, I'm just going to play the song and let you get an idea of what the mix sounds like as a whole. I'm just going to forward it a little bit just so you can get to the big part and hear all the instruments come in with the big guitars too. But you called me anyway. You know my frame, but you love me all the same. You've seen my shame, but you called me anyway. You know my frame, but you love me all the same. You've seen my shame, but you called me anyway. Okay, so that's pretty much the song, and now let's jump in channel by channel. First thing is, I usually take a kick and duplicate the track so I can use one kick as my top kick sound and the other one as my sub kick sound. So for this one, we just have the SSL channel going on from Brainworks. You can see we're boosting a little bit on the top end and then doing a cut around 470. Hang on, let me just play this for you. Run from your presence, but you love me all the same. You've seen my shame. Solo this. So that's the top kick. Using the trigger from Slate. You can see it's at 70%, so we can still get some of that original sound in there. And then let's add in our, let me show you this other EQ, just boosting more high end, and then also adding some more compression. And I'd always use the Studio FET from Logic just because, it's the 1176 model, and I just like the way it sounds and the character it has. So that's with the sub kick added in. And then the sub kick is just EQ to cut out everything other than the sub. And I want that 50 hertz thump. And then I also want it to be compressed pretty hard so it's nice and consistent. And then I'll let you hear it before the processing. And then here's after. Okay, so let's go to the snare. So this one is being boosted a lot on the high end to get that snap out of it. Also using the SSL channel just to cut a little bit at 200. Or no, I'm sorry, not cut. Boost at 200 just to give it kind of a little bit more oomph. And then this one is also using the trigger at 80%. So there's still a little tiny bit of that original snare sound in there. And then finally finish it off with some nice compression. Yeah, this one was rough. It was pretty ringy. Now I'll add it back in. Quite a big improvement on that one. And then for the toms, let's so just EQ and compression on the toms. Cut the mids are super scooped and then the high end's boosted. And that's pretty much the same for all of them. And then, so you can see that he had a bottom snare mic, but a lot of times I won't even use a bottom snare, and most of the time I won't use a hi-hat mic either, because I just like the sound of the hi-hat and the overheads. To me, the overheads usually pick up enough of the hi-hat to make it work without using a hi-hat mic. So here's the overheads. And so these were different. So he only had one overhead mic, which isn't ideal because I like a stereo drum sound. And I didn't really know what to do, so I put this real ADT. ADT stands for, double tracking. And so this kind of just spread out the overheads a little bit. It basically doubled it. But it's not true stereo to where, certain stuff's on different sides, but it gave it enough of a different sound that I was okay with it. So here's what it sounds like before. And also my EQ, I'm just cutting out a lot of the lows. So yeah, that was probably the weirdest part of this mix, is just doubling that overheads. And then I always bust my drums. I usually do a little bit more compression on the bus. I'll let you hear the drum bus by itself. And that is the drums. I'll go to the bass. And he had a really nice sounding bass. I was pretty happy with this one. And I also split this one in two. cut out the high end. I'll put a notch at 50 to, give the kick room for that 50 hertz thump that I added in the sub kick, and then I'll boost the 100 to kind of accentuate the bass. These cuts and boosts kind of help the kick and bass gel together. Here's what it sounds like without this EQ. And I also added a little radiator to add some drive and saturation. And then finally compression. When it comes to bass, I always compress the living snot out of it to make sure it's nice and even and consistent, especially in rock music. So you can see it's being compressed really heavy. So that's before. That's after, and then I also split the bass, added a high bass part. Kind of capture that string sound, finger sound. Next is this clean guitar part. DSP Nolly on the the cleanest sounding amp with the neural DSP, not reverb and delay. And then after that, just some EQ to cut out the lows to give that room to the bass. Boost the highs just a little bit to help it kind of cut through. See there that I did a little bit of pan automation. So in this intro, it's only 30%, and then after that, whenever a second guitar comes in, I just pan them both all the way, hard left, hard right. And this is the same guitar, so it's the same processing with the Nolly, EQ, and compression. Before and after.
I try to run from your presence.
We'll go to the rhythm guitars. So these are also using the nollies. But they're using the nollies on a higher gain setting. It's the third one from the top. Also a little bit of compression. This time from the API modeled one. Gives it a kind of cleaner sound, so that's why I picked that for the guitars. And finally some EQ. cut out the highs and the lows. Just, I'm always cutting out what I don't need. My favorite part of an EQ is a high cut and a low cut. Or high pass and low pass if you're super technical. So here's the rhythm guitars without processing. These are just DI'd, which is why it sounds like that. Move to the vocals.
But you called me anyway. You know my frame, but you love me all the same. You've seen my shame, but you called me anyway. You know my frame, but you love me all.
So just your standard Melodyne pitch correction.
You've seen my
I tend to stick with the Waves Renaissance for my vocal chain.
Called me anyway.
Start with the de-esser.
You know my
Go to the REQ.
But you love me all
Pretty simple.
the same.
Just high passing
You've
and
seen my shame,
cutting some of that,
but you called
500,
me anyway.
400 range to kind of give it that radio sound. I call it the radio sound to me.
You are
listen.
the same. You've seen my shame, but you called me anyway.
Me cutting that range just gives it that smooth,
You
silky
know
kind
my
of
frame,
vocal sound, which I just call it
but
the
you
radio
love
sound.
me all the same.
And then I always do serial compression
You've
on the
seen my
vocals.
shame, but
it
you
always
called
sounds
me
nice and smooth.
anyway.
So the first one just has a 2 ratio. Next one is a 4.
You
Both
are
compressing
the
about
one
6
true
dB.
God whom I will kneel before.
And then this
King
EQ
of
is actually
kings,
used
the
for
heart
some
of hearts, you
vocal
alone
effects
will
at the very
I
end. I'll show you
adore. You are the one true God whom I will kneel before.
Bypass the reverb
King
too.
of kings, the heart of hearts, you alone will I adore. You are the one true God whom I will kneel before. King of kings, the heart of hearts, you alone will I adore. You are here.
So at the very end,
You've seen my shame, but you called me
I
anyway.
automate this to
You know my frame,
hear it now, it's coming in.
but you love me all the same.
So the drive, the distortion drive's being automated up.
But you
Also this EQ, the high frequencies and low frequencies are being, automated up and down respectively. And then that ends you up with this EQ, which gives it that radio, like not radio, but like the telephone sound.
You know my frame, but you love me all the same. You are the one true God whom I will kneel before. King of kings, the heart of hearts, you alone will I.
So yeah, I don't know if you heard me. I think my mic might have been muted, but that's how we get the telephone sound, is with automating that EQ. You can see it over here move as I move this. So it just kind of goes up and down. And then finally, I already showed you the drum bus, but here's the vocal reverb. It's just an reverb. With the EQ, I use the reverb EQ, just cut out the lows, cut out the highs, so none of that kind of, whenever you speak or whenever he says an S sound, I don't want that high-end sizzled coming through the mix. That's why I cut out the highs on the reverb. And other than that, it's pretty standard reverb. You know, add some pre-delay to get that direct sound still coming in. And I've been really liking the reverb lately. It's a nice smooth sound just on the hall setting. And then to give the whole mix some glue, I'll usually pick a space designer and then, you know, bust different things to that room to kind of put them all in the same room. Also with pre-delay, on this particular song, I picked Tom Room out of Apple's Impulse Response library. Just sounded the best to me. And then still, I always EQ the reverb, just cutting out the lows and the highs, and then just some of the mids in this one. And so, let's see. Okay, and then finally the master processing. It's just a linear EQ.
You've seen my shame, but you
and I occasionally tend to mix kind of dark, so I'll go and boost the highs on the master. After I go reference mix and A/B it and hard testing and stuff like that. Just a compressor, and taking about half the EQ off. Another one, this Kramer high one. I love this compressor. I only ever use it as a master compressor. Next is the multi-pressor to smooth out the balance of the mix. Finally, after that, it's just the loudness. So gain, hear the adaptive limiter.
You are the one true, but you called me anyway. You know I'm afraid, but you love me all the same.
Finally, my A/B plugin. I use this to just flip back and forth between mixes and hear the balance correctly. Commercially mixed stuff.
You know I'm afraid, but you love me all the same.
It's really not fair to A/B to turn this off because I hear the loud closely, but I'll still do it.
You are the one true.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be so soft that you're just going to be like, wow, it sounds so much better. But it's really just going to be because it's louder.
But you called me anyway.
And that is pretty much the whole mix. So
Are the one true. But you called me anyway. You know my frame, but you love.
yeah, let me know if you have any questions. You can reach out in our Facebook group. The link will be in the description. You can visit at MixChecks.com where we do mix reviews, mix feedback. You can check out the other videos on this channel. Like I said, this one has a live mixing session where you can see it from beginning to end, not just going through channel by channel. And yeah, I'd love to see you on there in our group. So come visit, come check it out, and just keep mixing. We'll see you soon.